Hey, welcome back to the 5-Minute Strategist. If you've been paying attention in the online business space, you will have noticed that there's a trend. People drastically reducing their teams, people going solopreneur again, people shutting down their business entirely, people taking sabbaticals. And while I'm sure every single one of them have a really good strategy behind each of those decisions, what we need to be careful of is jumping into that trend and wanting something different and compromising what we've already built in order to get it. Where you already have a successful business, how can you allow that business to evolve without burning it to the ground, without shutting it down, without completely changing everything? So before we dive headfirst into these big changes, we want to first think about what is actually working really well in our business right now. Do you want to take a step back and think about each element of your business and start to ask yourself questions around, does this still meet what our customers are telling us they need? Do all of these pieces drive revenue for us? What is our customer feedback? What does the sales data tell us? What do our performance metrics tell us? What we're looking to do here is high-level evaluate your business so that you can understand the things that are cornerstone to your business, that are successful, that are revenue generators for you, that work really well, so that you can stop some things that aren't working so well, which then frees up some space for you to innovate and evolve into. Or it shows you where maybe you need some innovation to complement that success that you have already. So rather than thinking of your only choices are to keep going and doing exactly what you do now, or burn it all down and go in a completely different direction, this is going to make it easier for you to test out new ideas without risking the core of your business that's making you money and paying your bills and working really well. So once you've done this high-level assessment, you've gone, okay, these are the things I have to keep. These are the things I can stop. These are some areas that could do with a bit of a zhuzh. Now you can start to say, okay, where can we add some innovation? Where can we add some creativity? Where could things evolve? And then you can look at what's happening in the market. What are your customers telling you? Is there new tech? Are there new methods that people are learning? What are your competitors doing? How are you different? How can you stand out more? And you want to involve your team in this. Like, get them together, do a big brainstorming session, which is not only great for generating a bunch of ideas, also for that like team bonding experience. Like, we're all in this together. Everything's safe because we're protecting the cornerstones. So no one needs to panic. But we've got this amount of space or this amount of time, or we've got a bit of budget. If we could do anything, what would that look like? And then once you have some ideas, you want to be able to identify where the opportunity matches your strength, where it's filling a customer expectation, where it's not going to burn out your team, where it's not going to require a whole bunch of manual work. So you're looking for the right opportunity that matches you, your business, and those cornerstones that you're protecting. I think one of the reasons we struggle with this as small business owners, we're visionaries, we're big picture thinkers. And so when we think, oh, I'm feeling really bored, I'm feeling really caged in right now, we think that for that to change, the change that we make, the evolution or the innovation has to be massive. It has to be a giant pivot or an industry disruptor. But actually, incremental change can be just as powerful, right? Think about when you're struggling to do something at your desk and instead you take your laptop to a coffee shop and suddenly it's really easy to do the thing. That's a very incremental change that can have a really big impact. So don't just look for the big changes. Consider if there are small improvements that you could make consistently that would allow you to evolve over time in a safer way, in a way that doesn't overwhelm your team and burn them out, and it doesn't risk those core pillars that you want to protect. What's great about incremental change, so small change, is it's much easier to make the change, measure the impact, and adjust, versus making a huge change, which often requires a lot of upfront time, energy, potentially money investment before you have any feedback on how it's going to work. And as you will hear me bang on about in nearly every strategic thing I talk about, once you have ideas, don't forget to think about what risk you're weighing up against the reward that you're seeing. Yes, I know you don't want to be bored and it's an exciting idea, but if that exciting idea has the potential to cut your core revenue in half, maybe that risk versus reward isn't quite as good as you think it is. On the risk side, it could be like disruption to those core areas, like I said. It could be that you've got to like invest a bunch of money, so it might mess with your cash flow. It could be no one's actually asked you for this idea, so you don't know if it's going to sell. On the reward side, it could be that you get new customers or new revenue streams, or suddenly you have this really unique selling proposition versus your competitors. So you want to think through both sides and make sure that you're making a considered, balanced choice. And then make a plan. If the change that you plan to make doesn't go as planned, what will you do? Make that decision now, not when the thing doesn't go according to plan. And the decision could be, we'll give it 4 weeks, we'll give it 6 weeks, if this needs 6 months, and then we'll make a decision. What is your plan? If we lose X amount of money, we stop immediately. These are great decisions to make before you get bought into that idea, before you invest in that idea, so that you're making them as objectively as possible. Remember, the goal of this exercise is really to balance the old stuff in your business with the new stuff that you could possibly do, so that you've got that resilient foundation that's going to sustain the growth that innovation could bring. So how are you balancing your need to evolve while protecting the things that have made your business successful thus far?